And record. Hello and welcome to Descender. It's been a long time running since I last did a video. I probably last did one talking about a UI library a long time ago. It was originally known as NC Star, I believe. Now I've made one, except it isn't called NC Star. It's called InterfaceAPI. It's possibly the most fascinating of names ever to have graced this earth. Obviously, I'm going completely insane, but basically, I'm going to go through kind of the basics of Interface API, but I'm actually going to be doing some programming in this video. Now, when I say I'm going to do the basics, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making this thing called Descender Studio, which is technically part of this company thing that I've got called Descender Dev, which is over on itch.io. If I go over to itch, let's say I go over to Chromium and bring it up, and I show you. So we go to, let's see, let's just go to this page, Interface API. So here it is. This is the library. Might need a slight update, but nevertheless, you've got some download links here. So demo for Linux and Windows. Now, I will note that there is no Mac option because I don't have a Mac. That's just unfortunately the way it is. But if I were you, I would suggest having a look at it because it has all of the things that you would need in order to understand how it all works. So if I go in here and actually launch it, let me just copy path. In fact, am I here? Hold on. Assuming it lets me, I'm in test, aren't I? Okay, CD exports. Don't know why it's so slow. Maybe it's because I'm recording. If I do docs and load it up, this is what you'll be presented with. So there's some widgets here that you can have a look at. You'll be able to see everything as it works at the moment. You've got codes fields here, as you can see, with syntax highlighting. You have accordion groups. You can go through all of the different options here. Allow multiple. That basically allows you to open accordion groups. There's a bit of padding here by the looks of it. I might want to fix that, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It works. We've got barcodes here with different types of barcodes. You can even generate QR codes, as you can see. We've got bitmaps, buttons, and the simple things like that. Checkboxes, got a canvas. There's no demo for that yet. Code fields, of course. And obviously that's using the normal fonts. I don't have a font option in here because I'm an idiot. Nevertheless, doesn't matter. Got color pickers, right? All of this stuff. A combo box, right? Context menus, so you can right click like that. Date pickers, it's quite a few, right? File dialogues, so you can open a file dialog. You can navigate to stuff. Floating notifications in the corner there. And it stacks on top of each other. Flow panels, form generators. There's quite a few. Right. And of course, you got tabbing as well. That works. Freeform text fields where you can just click and start typing like that, right? Because why not? Get rid of that. It'll reset when I move over to something else. Grid panels, that exists. Group headers, all this stuff. Joiners, that's like inline joining of things. Keyboard, why is that there? Oh, that's the virtual keyboard. It doesn't exist yet. Um, that will be probably next version when that comes out. Whenever that comes out, probably never. Language indicator. That well, I mean that's technically if you had different, you know, different. Got Korean there actually. Got list box. Bananas for whatever reason. Markdown documents do exist. There's no padding there for some reason. Uh, you know, menu bars, menu items is quite, yeah. I mean, there's quite a lot here, obviously, as you can see. I should probably fix that. Model pop up, escape, close, node panels. You have these, link things up, right? Panel, default panel, pop up, progress bar, property grid. It's basically the same as this thing here. Radio button, rich text to demonstrate multiple formatted text. All this stuff here. Scroll bar. You can see the property grid is actually refreshing, as you can see. Slider, split panel, where you can move things around. These are sliders as well, as you can see. Oh, forgot. There's fields as well. You can click on these to show the options of what it is. This thing called own means that it's a field that belongs to this widget. You continue scrolling down and you'll find fields that belong to object and possibly others as well, potentially. Not here. But as you can see, you can collapse panes in one direction and the other direction, and then do that. Tab control, right? Text fields with Korean. I do have a small understanding of Korean words, and come on. But you see, this is what happens when I forget where the characters are. Where's the... Am I going mad? I must be going mad. Oh, God. Where is it? Where's the thing? It's around here somewhere. Um, I mean, I had it just now. Oh, I know what I'm done wrong. Hold on. Hold on. There you go. And young. I'm not going to type out the full uh, word for hello because that will take too long. But anyway, hi in Korean. There you go. At least the IME is still working. Timelines. You can do timelines so you can move stuff around like that. Yeah. You do have groupings as well. So if we enable these things here, we can right click, toggle group, add group. We can move things into the groups and stuff like that. Right. We can add more. Oops. Can add more. That might be a slight error actually. It's just oh, it looks alright actually. And when you delete a group, it'll swap back to the main version here. So you can do some neat things with this if you ever wanted to. I really need to fix right click. It should just collapse on left click, not right click. Something to fix. I'll write that down sooner or later. Let's see. So, you can modify this and to show a drop down. Obviously, I didn't have anything for that yet. This is all powered by SVG icons, by the way. Tree views. So yeah, quite a few things. Video also exists. Currently uses FFmpeg, but so you click on it, you can open a video. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't have a video anywhere on this machine. But basically, you can basically go through all of the widgets here, and there's quite a lot of them, as you can see, where you can basically see how it all works. And then you've also got systems here, so it will introduce you to how to start up an application. There was a recent change, so actually I should probably mention this. So allocation strategy, this is kind of out of date already because of a recent change that I put up onto the main branch. It is technically appropriate for the release 1.0, which is what this application is built on. But what I will say is context.allocator is equal to app.alloc. Do that regardless of what this documentation says. And I will say that because currently, as it stands, if you use the virtual allocator, well, this is what this uses anyway, it's the virtual allocator. Basically, what everything is doing inside create app is going to assign context.allocator to app.alloc once it's set up the virtual arena. So that means that all of the internals of the application that is returned here is set up into virtual memory. So if you don't assign context.allocator is equal to app.alloc, where all of your create underscore widgets that you're going to be creating, if you're going to be heap allocating that stuff and that heap allocation goes into dynamic arrays that have been virtually allocated, it can confuse things and it can cause intermittent crashing from time to time because obviously you're mixing different allocations between different arenas. So probably not a good idea in the grand scheme of things. Keep things in one arena if you can. You can't really have dynamically allocated or you can't. I mean, you can do it, as has been demonstrated by my own tests, which is you can technically allocate a heap allocated resource into a virtual into a dynamic array that was virtually allocated into a virtual arena. You can do that, but in practice, it's not a good idea because you're taking pointers to addresses that can change at any point, and because they're in two completely different arenas, it if one of them moves in memory, it can corrupt the data, and once that gets corrupted, you get those intermittent crashes I just mentioned. So just beware of that. So I would just suggest, unless you want to update onto the main branch where you can just switch between the two, or just be careful when you use create underscore panel, actually explicitly state the allocator if you would prefer. So it's really up to you how you do this. You can use the heap allocator or the virtual growing arena. It's entirely up to you how you do it. Um, Generally speaking, what I tend to do is use the virtual growing arena only because it's fairly small and you're not going to get much in there in the grand scheme of things. The total amount of memory that you're likely to occupy in the virtual arena is probably about a megabyte in size in a true scale application using Interface API. I think the struct size for the object is around 160 bytes, which might seem large, but um, and then you've got, of course, everything that derives from object, which is a significant number. As you can see here, there's quite a few fields, and this is just the object, right? There's the unions going on in here, like texture handles and sprite sheet state. Um, you've got obviously C strings, uh, you know, you got arrays, pointers, they don't take up much memory. Dynamics, that can take up quite a bit of memory. Obviously, it depends on how the dynamic is allocated. I think most of the time it's either the heap allocated or virtually allocated. Again, this really just uses the context allocator provided to create underscore. And then all of these procedure pointers as well. So as you can imagine, this is quite large. And then of course all of the internal functions that go along with it as well. There's a lot here. I think it's around 160 bytes of data here. Um, like I say, that might sound like a lot. Um, so, you're looking at maybe 300 widgets at most on the screen at any given point. When it's committed, that's committed memory, not necessarily virtual memory, but committed memory. But yeah, up to you how you wish to think about that. I know a lot of people uh, in the Odin community and communities like it prefer immediate mode style uh, user interfaces. Of course, that's why a lot of people tend to use things like Odin. That's because it's a low level framework, a low level language, sorry. So you want to do low level things with it to maximize performance for obvious reasons. But then also at the same time, I want to do low level stuff because I do enjoy it, I must admit. It's just this framework here, even though it's AI generated, does a lot of things for me, and that's great because I'm not a massive fan of having to maintain something uh, or sorry, not maintain, but I'm not a massive fan of having to build 10 years of development time into a framework as large as this, because that's probably how long it would take me to build something as large as this. 10 years, including all of the research that I would have done and would have required to have done for things like half-bars, free type, video codecs, PDFs, barcodes. You get the picture. You get the picture. Emails, even emails, I probably would have had to have done some research on that if I had to. But from now on, what I'll probably start doing is actually start building some stuff manually inside of this code base, particularly around the declaration stuff, because I actually want to keep that myself. I don't think AI would be able to do the view stuff the way I want to do it. So that would require doing use view system. So current view uh, stuff, which we're going to look at now. So I'm going to leave it there for the introduction to Interface API, and I'm going to now move into the current application that I've got here, which is going to introduce exactly what it is that I'm going to be building, uh, which is this in the studio. So let's go ahead and build this. What am I doing? It's not that. There used to be a hacks project in here. Get rid of that. I want build.sh. How am I doing? Type properly. Let's copy that. Put that in there. I don't, obviously that's not correct. What was it going to do? Shall I keep it at studio.exe? I mean, obviously it doesn't really matter on Linux. Where is it? Itinerary documents Codeberg. It's actually Codeberg, so I spelled it incorrectly. Actually, no, that is Interface API. Never mind. There we go. I think that's fine. Do that. Oh, okay. So there's already a few issues with view.odin. Let's just fix those things for a moment. Let's go in there and see what's going on. Now, I don't like how large this is. I will minimize it just momentarily so that I can see what I'm doing. I cannot take the pointer address of link. What are we looking at here? 26. What's wrong with it? Not entirely sure I get that. Uh, is it because of the... Hold on. It's got nothing to do with that. Oh, well, at least the errors are starting to show. There's a okay. No, I'm just going to do a shadow variable. No, do that. Oh, of course I can't do that. Duh. Okay. Next one. Same thing. Can't cast strings.clone. Context temp allocator. What are we doing here? That was supposed to be MP. Shadow that. Let's see. Is that everything? No. Where are we going now? Here? Okay. What's wrong with this one? Cannot index parent.links of type maybe. Oh. How shall I do this? Suppose what I can do. So let me do this. We shall see. Oh, no. Of course not. Duh. It's one of those things. It doesn't do it like that. What am I doing? Let's just do it like this. Okay. It's okay. Which it will be. I need to like that. What? Why does it not like that? Cannot type assert. This is not a variant of that union. Oh. There we go. Fix that one. And what's the problem with this? Then it's not supported for. Oh, that was meant to be link.name. Right. All I want to do is just show the app. Right. Right. Blank window. That's what I expected. Okay. Cool. So we got a blank video. So basically what this view was doing, I mean, obviously I was trying to fix some errors to try and just, get it working. Basically what my goal with this is to make it so that I start to do more declarative syntax. When I'm not coughing. That's better. Right. So in here, there is a thing called app set view. Sorry. And in here we've got a view. So that would be like if I were to do a panel, for example. So inside a panel, there'll be a thing in here where I go doc is equal to dot fill. Oops. Fill. And then that would return a view that creates the view that you want. Missing. I'm going to need to turn on a feature, aren't I? I have a feeling they will need to, or will it be okay with that? No, it seems to be okay. But basically, inside of here, if it'll let me, it assigns a view, but it doesn't actually do anything at the moment. So we're not adding anything. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is have a look inside of this view and just add it to the app. So I'm going to do app add object and pass in the current view target object. Don't know why it's not working. Am I gone mad? Hello? What's wrong with it? Maybe. Um, if can we do that? Casted view. So if I were to do that, assuming the code in view.odin is actually correct, it might not be, but we shall see. So if we go to panel, we create a view, we create a target panel, assign it doc panel, etc. We don't have the parent that we normally pass in. So that's nil by default. So we'll add children manually later, which is exactly what I'm doing here with the app set base view. So if I now, did I already build that? I can't remember. Do it again anyway. Studio. Can't quite see it. It might be there, it might not be. I can't really see it. Wait, what just happened? Oh, I just closed the wrong thing, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Visual Studio. Sorry about that. That wasn't meant to happen. Let's try that again, shall we? Yeah, I mean, tracking allocator, bad free. That makes sense. Yeah, because I'm not actually freeing any resources, which is fine. I knew that was going to happen. Um, so what I'll do then, 1656. Yeah, I should probably fix that. So what I'm doing, let me minimize this again so I can actually see what I'm doing. I say minimize, it's not really a minimizing, is it? So what am I doing? I am creating panel with the app.alloc. Did I app.alloc? Yeah, that's fine. I'm setting the context.allocator so many times, it's ridiculous. Defer, that's for the tracking allocator. It's actually inside of applications, strangely enough. Let me go there. Try to dispose the panel. Because that's automatic. Let me just pass in app.alloc. Make sure it frees using that, just in case. I'm a little surprised that. Hold on. Just in case. Surprised this wasn't in there here before, to be fair, but never mind. What? Ah, made that declaration, not an assignment. Yeah, that seems to be fine now. No bad freeze. Okay, that was a bug as well. Oops. Okay then. Well, fixed a few bugs, but at least that frees now. So yeah, I don't need to free here, so that's good. Ah, I know why I needed that. It's because I'm doing this. I'm making an explicit assignment to app.unlock. That'll be why. Okay, what are we doing? I guess just to make it obvious that this is in fact working, I'll just put in a background color here of, say, oh, I don't know. In fact, why didn't I just import RL and do, where'd it go? Panel, where are you? Lost you. Light grey. Just to prove that it works. Oops. No, no, no. Dark grey? Can't really see it. I do like to make things complicated, didn't I? Do I actually assign it? Yeah, I do. App set base view. Okay. Do I? Let me just double check something. App set base view. View. I should make that an address of rather than a copy. Using a value here is probably dangerous, but whatever. Probably losing memory scope. Yeah, that's not working. You know what? I'm just going to do the dumb thing for now. Set it to a pointer and heap allocate for now. Um, make that heap allocated. Don't need to do that anymore. That's what else? I need to do. Oops. Yeah. Use your brain. Let's do. Well, I need to go here. I don't think I have this many. And then I also need to do create view, which also return. Oh, that also returns it like that, but it will need to be new view. Use the default allocator. That. Which means I'm going to have to free. Just copy and paste that there. View. Destroy view. How am I doing? I need to go into view. I never actually free any of this. I just realized I'm memory leaking here. It's terrible. View. We have child views. We've got a maybe. So if we do if view dot links is equal to is not nil. Need to do the cast. Yes, okay. Free casted. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, runtime default allocator, and then for K bn casted delete K. Does it not like that? Ah, right. It's not a free, it's a delete. What are you talking about? Do you not normally delete maps? What's going on? There is a delete map. Am I going mad? Delete map. Location. Caller location. Oh, because... okay. Thinking it needs deallocator when it doesn't. Not for that kind of thing. Okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Right. Good. Next. Child views. We got a parent view. I'm not going to bother with that. It will sort itself out. Target object, that's automatically being freed in the app dispose. Child views, we do need to dispose of that. So we need to go for child. In fact, why is that not even a pointer? For child in view dot child views, destroy view child. That needs to be a pointer, I realize. So that needs to be like that. And then need to go into each of these, make that correct. That one also needs to be correct, so that's just wrong in any case. But then the problem with doing that is you can't just specify a struct. That's a point. Actually, can we get away with this? Potentially. We'll find out sooner or later. So do that for now. And then delete view.child views. In theory, that should work. What are these other errors? It's because I'm I think I'm just making this more difficult for myself than I think I am. Let's go back to create view again. This time, I'm just going back to where I was before. Yeah, it's a tricky one. This is a tricky one. Suppose. How do I normally define it? So. It's all lexically scoped. If I go back to where I had it before, right? Oh, don't get rid of that. I still need that. If I go and do the following, so get rid of that. I know what I need to do. I'll make this init view instead. Init view. I know what I need to do. Get rid of this. And then, so down here, it's going to be like this. View, like that. And then init view. Like that. You see? You see? Oh yeah. Get rid of that. Same again here. init view, view, right, yep, that needs to change again. One more time. View, that, init view. Okay, see how that works. Oh, what am I doing? Oh yeah, the application needs to change now. It needs to go back to this one. Of course, now it doesn't like that. Duh. Come on, sort it out, would you? What's wrong with you, man? Or should it be a pointer? It's a pointer to a struct that's stack allocated. You see, that's the problem. It should be a copy because you can't preserve a structure. You see, because when we return view, this is a value, right? So we return the value of view, so it's a copy. So we're basically returning a copy of what view contains, including any pointers. So that would mean making current view a copy. So that means passing in a copy, making that a copy. Not the best way to do it, but yeah, whatever. And in fact, why am I even doing that? If there's a copy, just get rid of it, right? Just do this. Oops. No. Copies can be quite dangerous because it's not it depends on the size of the object, obviously. If you move large objects around by copying it everywhere, it just slows the program down, so you do need to be a bit careful. What's this? Oh yeah, do that. Okay, all I want to know, does a dark grey panel show on the screen? Answer, doesn't. Let me just double check this. Let's do FMC, printf line, view target objects, Linux debugging for you. I mean, I could install Remedy, I suppose. Yeah, stop that. What are we doing? Looks like it's doing something. Looks like it. Is our back color grey though? That's the question. It probably is. Let's see. Doc fill. That's what we assigned it. So at least that's working. back color 80 80 80 255. Okay. I mean, yeah, it does look like it's working. So maybe it's just something to do with the life cycle of the app or something like that. Who knows? But at least that is assigned. App add object. I think, in all honesty though, let me just double check one more thing because oh, update. Let me just check this. Where is children? Just want to double check and make sure I'm not doing something stupid, which is very likely. App.children. That looks fine. So, I mean, what I normally do, so the way it normally works is when you create a panel, you normally assign a thing to it, and then like a parent, say, and then as you can see here, p.base parent. So you go to attach parent. So if parent is nil, it's not going to do anything. If it is something, then it's going to return that as a pointer, add a child to it. That's basically what app add child is doing. It's the same thing. Um, App add child. Wait, what? I go mad. App add. Oh, object. Duh. Oops. Add object. There we go. Object add. Why? I mean, there's probably a reason, but yeah. That'll be the reason. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing weird going on, right? It's just a bit weird that the normal way is different from the new way. And for some reason, the new way doesn't work. Let's see. View target objects. It's a bit weird. If I do it, okay, so let me just double check and make sure I'm not doing something stupid. Do the really dumb thing and do it not the usual way that I normally do it. So that'll be if I do, say, root, for example, I'll do interface, create panel, then I'll do app.base, right? And then roots doc is equal to fill, roots back color. This might actually be might just be because it's using a theme and the theme takes precedence, which would be a bit weird. But this will basically confirm that I'm not doing something stupid, regardless. Yeah, I'm not doing something stupid, basically. So I know that's working. I'm. It's just the back color isn't actually being set. I could go ahead and fix that, but I don't really care right now. So I think I'm just going to leave it there for now. So I think in the next video, what I'll do is just continue working on this.